Hello, friends. Welcome to my channel, Most Worth Coins WC, where we explore the fascinating world of old and rare coins from around the world. In every video, we dive deep into the history, value, and interesting facts about some of the most collectible and valuable coins ever minted. The 1979 D Washington Quarter belongs to the long-established Washington Quarter series, which began in 1932 as a tribute to the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the coin carries an image that had become so familiar by the late 1970s that it was almost taken for granted in everyday transactions. On the obverse, or front, is the left-facing bust of George Washington, depicted in classical style, his hair tied with a ribbon in a style true to his 18th century portraits. Above his head stretches the inscription, Liberty, reminding the holder of the foundational American value. The national motto, In God We Trust, appears to the left of Washington's chin in smaller capital letters, balanced in proportion to the portrait. The date 1979 sits centered beneath Washington's neckline, with the mint mark D just to the right of the date, indicating the coin was struck at the Denver Mint in Colorado. This D mint mark is a small detail but a vital one for collectors, as it identifies the origin and sometimes helps trace the coin to specific die varieties or production characteristics unique to Denver issues. The reverse of the 1979 D Quarter displays the long-serving heraldic eagle design that had been a defining symbol of the Washington Quarter from 1932 until the state quarters program began in 1999. The eagle stands proudly with its wings outspread, perched upon a bundle of arrows, a visual representation of the United States' readiness to defend itself. Beneath the arrows lies a pair of olive branches, representing the equally important pursuit of peace. Above the eagle's head is the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one, a statement of unity and diversity that has been a part of U.S. coinage since the late 18th century. The top arc of the reverse carries the inscription, United States of America, while the denomination quarter dollar appears boldly at the bottom rim. The outer edge of the coin is reeded, featuring fine vertical grooves that discourage metal, shaving and give the coin a tactile distinction from smooth-edged denominations. Physically, the 1979 D Washington Quarter was made of the modern clad composition introduced in 1965 to replace the traditional 90% silver alloy. It consists of a core of pure copper, clad in outer layers of a 75% copper and 25% nickel alloy, giving it a bright silvery appearance without the intrinsic precious metal value of earlier coins. The quarter has a diameter of 24.26 millimeters, a thickness of 1.75 millimeters, and a standard weight of 5.67 grams. This clad composition was more cost-effective for the U.S. Mint, especially during times of fluctuating silver prices, and ensured the coin's durability in heavy circulation. The Denver Mint struck an impressive 489,180 quarters in 1979, reflecting the high demand for quarters in vending, transportation, and everyday commerce during this era. The year 1979 is historically notable in U.S. coinage because it was also the first year of the Susan B. Anthony dollar, which replaced the Eisenhower dollar. While that new coin drew much of the public's attention, the Washington Quarter continued in heavy production with little change in design. The late 1970s also marked an era when minting technology had improved to produce more consistent strikes, though differences in die wear and striking pressure could still lead to varieties. In the case of the 1979 D, collectors have identified some minor die varieties, such as small die chips in Washington's hair or in the lettering, and occasional examples of weak strikes where the eagle's breast feathers are not fully defined. Dramatic mint errors for this year, and mint, such as off-center strikes, broad strikes, or doubled dies, are less common but do exist, and these can greatly enhance collector value. From a collecting standpoint, circulated 1979 D quarters are abundant and generally hold only face value unless they exhibit exceptional condition or unusual features. Uncirculated examples, especially those graded MS-65 or higher by PCGS or NGC, can fetch a modest premium, with the highest values reserved for coins that combine strong luster, clean surfaces, and sharp strike detail. Many high-grade examples survive because rolls and bags of quarters were saved by dealers and collectors during the late 1970s and early 1980s, partly due to the public's growing interest in modern coin collecting. The Denver Mint's coins from this year often display a satiny luster with fewer bag marks than Philadelphia issues, though this varies from coin to coin. The 1979 D Washington quarter represents a period in U.S. coinage when tradition still dominated the designs, long before the 50-state quarters program would transform the look of the nation's quarters. For many Americans, this was simply pocket change, a workhorse coin used for toll booths, payphones, arcade games, and everyday purchases. Yet to a numismatist, it is a physical record of a particular moment in U.S. minting history, reflecting the transition from the turbulent silver price years of the 1960s to the stable-clad coinage of the late 20th century. Its design links it directly to the origins of the Washington quarter in 1932, while its mint mark ties it to the Denver Mint's industrial coinage output of nearly 500 million pieces that year. Whether found in a collector's album in pristine condition or worn smooth after decades of circulation, the 1979 D quarter is a small but enduring testament to America's numismatic heritage. The 1991 D Washington quarter is part of the long-running Washington quarter series that began in 1932 to commemorate the bicentennial of George Washington's birth. On its obverse front, you find the classic left-facing bust of George Washington, sculpted by John Flanagan. Washington's portrait is dignified, with detailed hair tied back in a ribbon, a style faithful to the 18th century appearance of the first U.S. president. Above Washington's head arcs the inscription "Liberty" in bold capital letters, representing the enduring American value. To the left of his chin appears the national motto, "In God We Trust," a statement that began appearing on U.S. coins in the 19th century and was standardized across all denominations by the mid-20th century. Just below the portrait, centered, beneath Washington's neckline is the date 1991, marking its year of mintage. Next to the date, on the right side, is the small but important D mint mark, indicating that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint in Colorado. The reverse back of the 1991 D quarter features the heraldic eagle design that had been in use on the Washington quarter since 1932. This design, also by Flanagan, depicts a bald eagle perched on a bundle of arrows, a symbol of American readiness to defend itself, with two olive branches beneath it, symbolizing the desire for peace. Above the eagle's head is the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, a reference to the unity of the states forming a single nation. Around the top rim of the coin is the inscription, United States of America, and at the bottom, in slightly larger lettering, is the denomination $quarter. The rim of the coin is reeded, with fine vertical grooves that serve both a decorative and a practical anti-counterfeiting function, preventing the coin from being shaved for its metal content. In terms of composition, the 1991 D quarter is made from the copper-nickel-clad formula that the U.S. Mint has used for most circulation quarters since 1965. This consists of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a core of pure copper. The coin has a diameter of 24.26 millimeters, a thickness of 1.75 millimeters, and a mass of 5.67 grams. While the silver content that existed in pre-1965 quarters is absent here, the clad metal gives the coin its characteristic silvery appearance and durability for circulation. The mintage for the 1991 D quarter was high, over 630 million pieces, reflecting the heavy demand for quarters in U.S. commerce at the time. From a historical context, 1991 was the tail end of the pre-state quarters era. The Washington E. Quarter design had remained largely unchanged for nearly 6 decades, with only minor refinements to lettering and relief over the years. By this time, collectors generally sought out coins in high uncirculated grades, as most circulating examples quickly accumulated wear from vending machines, cash registers, and pocket change use. For the Denver Mint issues, minting technology had improved enough to produce sharper strikes than earlier decades, but minor variances in die wear, polishing, and striking pressure could still lead to collectible varieties. Collectors examining a 1991 D quarter will look for certain things: crisp detail in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers, clean fields free from bag marks or scratches, and strong, even luster. While most examples in circulated condition have only face value, coins graded MS-65, mint state, or better by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, can command a premium, especially if they have satiny or frosty luster and no visible contact marks. In rare cases, mint errors such as off-center strikes, doubled dies, or clipped planchets have been found for this date, and these can be quite valuable to specialized collectors. By 1991, the Washington quarter was a deeply familiar sight to Americans, a coin that had been part of everyday life for multiple generations. While this particular year's Denver issue is not considered rare, it represents the final years of a classic American design before the dramatic redesigns of the late 1990s. For numismatists, it captures a moment in U.S. coinage history when tradition was still paramount, the eagle reverse still proudly displayed, and George Washington's portrait remained the enduring face of the nation's quarter dollar.